Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Dan.
Now Spencer.
And this is the Board Game Rundown. Today we are going to do like a review, spoiler-free review of Deckscape's newest outing, Crew versus Crew. So this is these are normally like little pocket escape room kind of games you can knock out in an hour, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on how fast you are. But the unique thing about this one is that you got to split into two teams. So if you got two players, you can do 1v1, or like when we played, we had 2 versus 3. And yeah, so like most escape room things, you basically just going to open it up and look, there's a first card. It says caution, wait. And then you're just going to follow the instructions as you go through. You're going to flip the card over. You know, you read it to the bottom. It'll usually tell you to flip the card over. It might say stop. It might say give this card to the red team, give this card to the blue team. And you're going to have puzzles. And you're going to go through these puzzles. And some of it, you've got to be like the first one to solve, right? Or actually, almost all of them.
I think they all were pretty much a race.
There was literally like one at the beginning that wasn't that or something. Probably as like a training one.
Well, there was also another one like about a third of the way in that was a back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yep. I actually that might have been my favorite one.
Same.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is a really unique take on I've done a couple of the Deckscape games, and I've been a fan of them. I would say there's always like 1 or 2 puzzles where I'm like, where I don't love.
Right. You don't catch it right away, and you're like, oh, okay.
Well, some of it is not always super clear. Like,
Or even after they explain it, you're still like, I don't think that's how this works.
Yep.
that's fair, you know. But for the most part, most of the puzzles are usually pretty good.
Oh yeah.
And they're pretty consistent. I enjoy the gameplay and the flow of them. This I thought was kind of fun going versus. We did notice like sometimes where if you let the other team guess,
It's better to
because if they're wrong, you get the point.
right.
You know, so you have to like keep that in mind as the game goes on.
Right. So you're not real sure. Rush. Yeah. Don't rush too much.
And when we finished, no spoiler, we were pretty close in score.
Yep.
So and it stays on theme.
Yeah.
And there's some pretty interesting like twists and turns as you go through it. So I mean, we'll just go through and give this our normal rating, Dan.
Sure, yeah. So each of us will give it a rating from 0 to 10, and then we'll average that all together so that you get the Board Game Rundowns rating that you'll find on stuff like Board Game Geek and stuff like that, so that it's easier for you to understand. You don't have to think of 7 scores; you think of just 1.
All right. So what were your thoughts on Deckscape?
Okay, I will say this is probably my least favorite Deckscape, but I think that's just because I wasn't ready. It's a very different experience. I will say this is not an escape room, right? This is a puzzle game.
Yes.
This is just a straight up puzzle game where you're kind of versus. We're each trying to solve puzzles, and whoever can solve them faster and better. So this one is the least escape roomy out of them so far. I also think it says 2 to 6 players. I would almost say exclusively to play this at 2, maybe 2v2.
Yeah,
maybe.
I would say no more than 2v2.
Yeah. Right.
Otherwise, that third person on your team sometimes just sits there and has to wait.
Exactly. And that's, again, probably my biggest issue with this is that the way it's designed, it's a very interesting idea. And I'm looking forward to seeing where this kind of thing goes. But the way it's at right now, the problem is it's a versus game, but there's only one rule card, right? So either one of the teams has an advantage because they're reading the rules and instantly starting on the puzzle, while the other team just had to kind of listen and be like, okay, what exactly did he say? Or hold on, there's symbols on that card. So can you hand me the rule card now? And I'm looking at it while the other team already knows the rules. They can just kind of start, right? So I would also suggest in a 1v1 or whatever, have like Team A read the rules for Puzzle A, and then Team B read the rules for Puzzle 2. I guess I should say numbers. Then switch back and forth so that you're having an even fairness going on with because I do think
leave the rule card on the table,
or leave the rule card sideways on the table. But then even that is just weird and uncomfortable.
You just got to make sure everybody's got a chance to read the rules before the puzzles start.
Before everyone starts.
And I think when initially, and we figured it out relatively quickly, but a couple of the early puzzles, while we were kind of getting the flow of the game, it was like, oh, we've got to be faster, right? Like,
right. Yeah. Right. We were just kind of trying to figure out a fun puzzle.
We're like, oh, we're done. We got it.
They were like, we got it. Here's this. Moving on to the next one. We were like, what? I'm trying to solve this
But
puzzle.
you don't want to be too fast because we lost so many points.
Yeah.
I would actually
guessing
say
too quick.
over half the points were just given to the enemy team.
Yes.
Which was us.
But yeah, so I don't know. I'm not going to give my number yet because you guys might have more thoughts, right? But I want to
Sure.
hear more thoughts. Those are kind of my initial things. I have an issue with a higher player count, and I have a slight issue with the way the rules are designed, which is just hard to do in a system like this. It was a risky move doing a versus system. And this was probably the best way they could do it. What are you going to have, a double-sided card that you hold up and both teams read it, right?
Yeah,
like,
why
so I don't know. I think they probably did the best they could with this type of price range and everything that they usually do.
Yep.
It just felt slightly lacking with the competitive nature of it. It was more of like, okay, I'll read the rules. Sorry, I'll hand you the rules now, and then you read the rules for a bit. And
Well,
okay,
I
are
try
you
not to
ready,
think
sir?
about
Like,
it.
okay,
Yeah.
let's fight. Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's my initial thoughts, I guess.
I had one more thought on this. It's fine, in my opinion, for a kind of escape room to have a gotcha or a particularly difficult one or one where there's a trick. But in this, there were more than I was expecting, and all of them are basically just giving points to the person who doesn't try to solve it. Because there's almost no way you're actually going to get it. It's a trick question. And so, I mean, you're going to give the points to the other person.
Well,
I did not like that.
There is a rule that says that both teams can agree to not answer it and move on.
That
Nobody
is
can.
true, and we never did
We
that.
never did that.
I
Everybody
didn't
just
know-
took a
didn't hear
guess.
He did talk about that. We just never did that because, it was fun trying to
Yeah,
guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Screw it. Game.
No,
All
I
right.
like to feel smart, right?
Right,
Like,
right.
oh, I figured that out.
That is a great point. I don't believe as strongly as Spencer does in this, like while we were playing, but I do think out of all the Deckscapes and Detectives and everything, this one has the most ambiguity, just doing the wrong version.
Right.
Right.
Ambiguous, kind of like, oh, that's what they meant,
Yeah.
And some of it was definitely our fault. There were definitely
no, there
times
were
where
definitely.
where
We're like,
someone,
oh, yeah, of
someone would
course.
be like, that's ridiculous, and then we'd read the card and it's like, oh no, it clearly, we just like mentally forgot that last sentence or
Right.
something, right?
And then some
But
of
there
them
were
like,
some where it was like, that's fishy. I don't know how that works. So yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, I agree with Tim where I would keep it like a 1v1 or 2v2 because, like we were saying, with a third person on our team, a lot of times they felt like they were just kind of waiting to see what was going on.
Sure.
And a couple times I try to like I'll just try to read the rules and let everybody else do the thing.
Right.
And that helped a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I did enjoy it though. I mean, it was still fun.
Right.
Like, I wish there were more of the back and forth type
I
ones. 'cause
agree.
That was a lot of fun.
That was the best
Yeah, I
thing.
like
There was one particular puzzle in there that I think we all really loved.
Which is funny because of what it is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. But
But that's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine because it was just so left field compared to
Sure.
some of the other
yeah,
ones.
and it
Yeah,
like
it's
it
interesting.
got intense. You're
Yeah,
just like, oh.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say designers, when you're making the next kind of versus Deckscape, I would say try to work on more of those because those were those
We're
back and
I think that's
forth.
a better
saying
way to
what
go.
they are,
Right.
but
Sure, yeah.
Right.
there was a real back and forth. That's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because actually, there's two of them that were kind of a back and forth. Because there's one where we were like looking at stuff and you're kind of picking and choosing.
Oh, sure.
I really enjoyed that one as
Oh
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's
That
a really
one's
good
pretty
I
good
thought that
too.
was a great puzzle.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
was easily my second favorite
Yep.
one.
Yep,
And,
and it
and
was
the
another back
strategy
and
to
forth, I
that
think.
too,
Yeah.
right? There's a lot of strategy.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
that.
that's true.
Yeah. I just blanked on what I was going to say.
Cool.
Cool.
Carry on.
Sounds good.
But I mean, for me, I guess I don't know that I have a least favorite as much as I love the idea and I love the concept.
Yes.
And I want to see more things like this because the straight up escape rooms are fine,
Yep.
like the Deckscapes. But I've got people in my game group, they do not want to play co-ops. So this,
Almost tricks him into playing a co-op.
right. Well, Team versus Team is a little different.
Sure.
And I think that you're going to be able to like draw some people in because it's like, oh well, we're going to be like us versus them. Like if you were doing like a game night with couples or just
And it almost reminds me of when we had the two escape rooms that are the same, and
Yeah.
we tried to race to see who could get through
yeah,
it
yeah,
faster.
yeah. We did that. in
Something
a-
like that
we
could
did
be
that at
cool.
a
If you wanted to
convention.
do teams, then you could just like basically it's like okay, go to card 50 and give the other half of the deck to the other team, and then you guys basically have to get through your half of the deck as fast as possible.
But
something
well,
like
even
that.
this though is a great starting point, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like to see more of these.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, same.
I mean, for me, these are what they are, right? They're one-time use. My score is actually going to be a little bit higher because of just the value, right? These
Sure.
are really cheap.
Right.
Now, granted, you only play them once,
And you don't destroy them.
but
right?
you do not destroy them.
Yeah, you just reassemble it and you can give it to somebody
So
else.
the nice thing, right, is that we'll be able to pass this on to somebody else and say, hey, I think you guys will like this. Check it out. And, you know, they make nice little gifts and everybody can have a good time with it. So, I mean, for me, it's an 8. It's
Okay.
I really liked it. I had a good time. It's not my favorite one we've done.
Right.
But it's not my least favorite.
Okay.
And again, the value, I really like 2 of those puzzles in there. I really enjoyed a lot. That's at
Those
least
2 puzzles made it worth the price of admission.
yeah. Those are at least a point, right, for me because we had such a good time with those and a little bit of like subterfuge, right, as you're going through stuff. So for me, it's an 8. It's easy.
I don't remember what I gave the other ones.
Sure.
Like I said, I do think this is my least favorite, but it's just because maybe we just didn't do it right. Maybe we just weren't feeling it. And like, you know, we kind of just went into this blind and we're like, let's try out this one.
Yep.
And maybe we should have spent a little bit more time thinking about how this is going to work. How are we going to read the rules cards in this one, guys? You know, that kind of stuff. Maybe.
Yeah, we did just jump in blind,
yeah,
right?
we just jumped in and tried it out.
Usually how you play this, though.
So I don't know what my other scores were, but I'm going to give this one a 7. I again, with the regiftable and the price and the few puzzles that were truly great, it's easily recommendable, right? I would easily say again, if you like the Deckscapes, yeah, try this one out. Just be wary of the stuff we're saying in this video, right? If you've heard everything we've said and it still sounds interesting at all, then 100% check it out. You know,
Yeah.
But you've heard all of our opinions now, so you can make an educated.
I mean, for
decision
the
based
price
on
you
that.
pay for this, you're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like you spent $100 on a game and then it's like,
You're like,
oh, this thing stinks.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna come down at a 7. I would recommend this to people, but I would definitely recommend the other ones more. Right?
Sure.
So
yeah, no, I agree with your appraisal based on what you've said.
Yeah. I gave the other one to a guy at work, and he's got like an 11-year-old daughter, and they loved it.
Nice.
Yeah. I guess if we wanted it back, I'm like, give it to somebody else, you know, that's got.
That's it, man.
friends and-
Spread the love, right?
Spread it around. So yeah. I'd give it I'm gonna go ahead and go 7.5. You know, because like
Split the difference, right?
Well, I mean, because you both make good points, and like I said, it is recommend. I would recommend it. Is it my favorite one of those I played? No, but I would like to see more of the team things, like the back.
Yeah,
and forth. I have a
that's
lot
the
of
other
fun
thing,
with.
right? Is I want more. I want
Exactly.
more
I
of the versus side of that.
Yeah, because I mean, I do enjoy co-op, right?
Right.
But it's kind of a co-op and a versus.
Right.
So
Get your
That's called a
cake
team.
and eat it too.
I have thoughts on that. That's one of the dumbest things. If I had cake, I want to eat it, right? That's why you have cake. That's what I have you say. The saying, have your cake
hurry
and
up and
eat
give
it
your
too,
score before
you know?
before he loses
It's a
it.
dumb saying, because if you have cake, what do you want to do? You want to eat it. All right.
Can't have a cake too.
Huh? Yeah. What you do with cake?
All right. Well, I'm going to be an outlier in the other way.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine. I
For
thought
me-
about it.
Yeah, for me, those few that were frustrating were a little more frustrating than I really wanted them, than I was willing to really enjoy. And there were a couple where I'm like, a simple message would have been a good change. For instance, there were some cards where we didn't realize that you can look on the other side. Usually on these things,
You're
that's
not
a big
supposed to flip
no-no.
it
You
unless it
don't flip
says,
them.
right.
So if it said you can flip this,
Yeah, there
or
was that
flip these
one
cards.
there was that one puzzle
Yeah.
in particular where
There are a few little things where they could really improve it, like the other one where one of the squares doesn't count,
oh right,
and
right.
it was. I mean, yes, they did kind of
It
say
did
that,
say it, but it's easy
but
to
it was
overlook.
so easily overlooked.
Yeah.
They could have made that more clear.
I
so
don't
that
mind
it's-
that at all.
Yeah, because you got benefited from that.
No, I'm just saying. no, I'm just saying. I don't mind that when it clearly is human error, and you think,
Sure.
like, dang it, and then
Yeah.
you're like, oh man, it really
but
was
they
there.
could've-
Like, I don't mind.
I
that
agree
at
with you on the
all.
first one, but not the second
Well,
one.
here's why I
because of
say
what Dan
that second
says.
one, because I'm here to solve the puzzle, not to try to see if I can figure out how they got me.
Yeah. Well, because that's the thing is your brain kind of like overlooks like some things
Yeah.
and makes so and you have to try to get out
And
of
then,
your own
and then
head.
the one right,
Right.
after that,
Yeah.
none of us still have any idea how it was supposed to work.
No, well,
Yeah.
Well, yes and no.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're talking about, honestly.
I know
but-
it.
Yep.
It's-
We're not going to
anyway.
say it on here because we don't want to get
so there we go.
Yep.
I believe that gives us
7.25.
Yeah,
Bob?
that's
so 7.3.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good point.
I was waiting for you to
7.3.
talk about how we do it, but hey.
he did already.
Oh, did you?
He did
Yeah.
it early.
Oh, you did it early. That's right.
But yeah, I mean, this is solid. This is solid. This is
Check 'em out.
easily recommendable. There's some
Great
better
stocking stuffer. Great
Right.
little gift. Yeah.
Yeah. So Deckscape crew versus crew, the Pirates Island.
Check it out.
Not an escape room in a box, but
Right.
from it's under that umbrella. of escape
Exactly.
rooms in a box.
It's almost their catchphrase, so it's on the box because it's their catchphrase. But this one is
Right.
definitely more of just a straight puzzle solver.
by
Yep.
Davy Jone.
Davy Jone.
There we go. So anyways, guys, for the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
I've been Dan.
And I've been Spencer.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.